and welcome back to PlumeriaPlay, or welcome if you're new here. Today in The Sims 4, we are doing a speed build with the new Cozy Bistro kit and base game only. So let's hop right into it. I had gone ahead and built a shell of the building, so this is what that's looking like so far. I wanted it to look like two buildings kind of squished together, and I did go ahead and decorate the upstairs of one of the buildings. That way it looked kind of like a loft situation. I wanted to have two different businesses in one go, and we are using the new Cozy Bistro kit in both of them. I just kind of wanted to try to see what kind of different aesthetics and shops that we could create with this new pack. When I first built this shell, I had gone with more of a black and white aesthetic, but when I saw the new assets that came in the Cozy Bistro, I decided I wanted to go for more of a brown and white, and we end up with the brown wood and the emerald green accents, which I think turns out really beautifully. So in my head, this first one that we're working on with the angled wall is going to be more of like a restaurant side of the bistro, and the one right next door is more of our coffee house side. I made a full video discussing my thoughts on both of the new kits, so I will link that here for you if you're interested in watching it. But I don't feel like this is a great kit just because it feels like you need to have other packs in order for it to be a functional kit. So I feel like you either need to have get together with the cafes or have to have dining out with the restaurants. And honestly, for a build like this one, in my head, I had both. I wanted to keep this particular build base game friendly just for anyone who only got this kit. But I feel like if you have one of the other packs, I have spaces where you can replace the things in this side that we're working on now to have a restaurant, and then spaces in the other one where you can replace it with the functional cafe things from Get Together. I will say I feel like you can make very pretty and cohesive builds with this kit alone. However, I just don't feel like it's functional without having other packs. So I'm certainly not saying if you buy this, you must buy something else. If you just like to build and you like the aesthetic of this build stuff, I think it's a great kit to get. I honestly really love the build assets that come in this kit. I think it's absolutely beautiful. And I actually think a lot of it pairs really well with a lot of the base game items. Another pack that pairs really well with this kit is Get to Work if you just wanted to make retail stores. I feel like just having these windows and doors and things like that really make for a nice retail store location, whether that is a business or a restaurant or a cafe. I feel like it can work for any of those things. But we are headed inside the build now. I went with this beautiful emerald green color. I honestly love this swatch so much, so I felt like I had to use this one. It does have a ton of really good swatch options, so you can make a lot of different styles. This one ends up being very like green and moody, and the other side ends up being very happy and bright, and that's all with the same kit. So I do feel like it's very versatile in that way. But this lot is classified as a bar because I did want it to be base game friendly, so of course we're placing the new bar that we get down, and I had a lot of trouble trying to decide the general layout of this floor. I almost never do community builds, so it took a while for me to actually get down what I wanted this to look like, but I do think it ends up coming together really nicely in the end. As I said, I decorated this to be almost like a restaurant, so if you do have dine out, you could change a lot of the items out to have it be a restaurant in your game if you wanted it to be like that. So I kind of kept in mind those spaces and where I might want to put tables and chairs for more Sims, and even like a hostess stand or a waitress station. So I didn't really decide I wanted to do that until a little bit later into the build. So I end up even moving it around a lot from what it is right now. The little couch booth items I just placed down are probably my favorite item in this whole pack. There are some booths that come with the dine out pack, but they are so big and bulky and quite frankly just a little bit ugly. So I really like that we got these that almost look more like a real couch, but the rectangular tables, like the longer tables, do slot to those just fine. Now a round table will not, so if you're trying to use a smaller table and it doesn't slot, that's why. But any kind of long table will slot to it. I found that out during my review video. But we are moving the bar once again, and this will not be the last time that it gets moved. And I did leave in all those clips, so you can watch this bar shift from left to right. I could not decide if I wanted it to be center with like the wall, if I wanted to leave extra room for tables over on that side. I just couldn't figure out what I wanted. And then I'm placing some tables and chairs in those open doors. That's technically doors, but I'm almost using them as open windows here. I don't really want your Sims to be able to come in those, which is one of the reasons I put chairs and tables there. But the other one is if you've ever been to New Orleans, that's kind of a very common thing that they do there, especially if the weather's nice, and then it feels kind of like indoor-outdoor seating. Like they'll just have all the windows open, and then you're inside technically, but you can get the nice breeze and whatnot from outside. And right around here is when I decided I wanted this to feel more like an official restaurant than just a bar. So I wanted to put this wall here to kind of set up like a nice backdrop when you walk in, and that's where I would put the hostess station. You'll see I put some counters down there later, but I can't figure out where I want it to go because that's way too close to the door. But then if I back it up, my bar's too squished. So we end up moving the bar over once again, and I think it ends up looking really good. That wall does get to stay there. And this is a fully functional bar, so that's what it'll be uploaded as on the gallery as. But I had to move this around so many different times, but I think this is about where it ends up staying at. There are two different green swatches on the tables and chairs, so I swapped it to where the bar chairs would be green seats but with the wooden backs. And then we have a room now to get some extra tables over in this corner next to the bar. But this side of the build is starting to come together really nicely. We are getting some curtains now on these windows. I actually really love these curtains a lot. I think they're a little weird for these windows in particular because like they don't actually cover anything, but I could see myself using those a lot in my regular everyday gameplay. But over here, we are getting in a little bathroom because we have to have that for a bar location. And then light decorations, nothing too crazy. And then over here is what I imagine would be the kitchen area. So I wanted to make it feel a little more industrial because I don't feel like your kitchen would match the aesthetic of the kind of front-facing section of your restaurant. It's a very minimally decorated kitchen. I do feel once again like you need either Get to Work or the Dine Out pack in order to make a fully filled out kitchen. So it's a little sparse in here, but I think it works. And then I decided to get some lockers in here for your employees so they have a place to change and whatnot. And we are also getting a little radio on the outside right there. In order to have a functional bar location, you have to have a TV on the lot. So I put this one in here to make it almost look like an order screen because I didn't feel like a TV fit out in the main like bistro area. So that's what we did that there. And then out here, I wanted to try to find a sign. So I searched for a little while. I get some plants. I felt like the outside just needed some more greenery or something. It just felt very plain. That's one of my biggest struggles with community lots is how to kind of bring out the greenery and plants and things like that into the exterior of the build because it all feels very concrete. And I decided while I was out here to go ahead and get some greenery in front of our left side of our build. So we just got some planter boxes and stuck some base game bushes into those and then some things from Debug out there. And then I realized I needed to put some windows or doors or something on the back. So we set that up and I started to put greenery there and then realized I needed a staircase to get to the second level of the build. I don't know why, but I just completely forgot that I had to get my Sims upstairs. Now, one really annoying thing that happened is the staircase makes it where that beam that goes across the center of the building cuts and it clips and you can't see it anymore. And I find it to be a little annoying, but I decided to just deal with it. But now we are moving into the left side of this build, which is meant to be kind of our cafe area. It's a little more bistro in my opinion, whereas the other one feels a little more restaurant, but we use all the stuff from the pack over again. And this is where I decided to use the coffee maker that comes with the new Cozy Bistro kit. And with that coffee maker, I believe we used every single item from the Cozy Bistro kit in this build. For this side, I wanted to go for a brighter and lighter color scheme. I wanted to feel almost girly and like more trendy, I guess maybe you could say. So we mixed this pink with this baby blue together, and I thought maybe it would end up looking kind of like a gender reveal, but I think they actually paired really, really nicely together. And we are using these same booths and chairs from the other side that we used already. But in this side, I wanted to get a lot more greenery and plants. And I wanted it to feel more like a trendy little coffee shop than it did like a bistro or a restaurant. So I feel like this kit is versatile in that way. I feel like we made two completely different things using the exact same items. And I used a lot more flowers and things like that in this pack. We colored it up a little bit better. And then there's not quite as much seating space because it's obviously much smaller, but I still feel like there's a lot of places for your Sims to sit and enjoy their coffee. And I want to talk about the functionality of this Cozy Bistro kit for a second. I was trying to explain to my husband, who does not play The Sims, like how kind of silly this kit is to me. The fact that they gave us bistros but without restaurants or cafes in the base game. You would literally have to have your Sims go and make their own coffee, order food from the bar at the restaurant, and then somehow manage to get them to take both of those items and go sit at whatever table it is that you want them to sit at. It would be almost impossible. It's so hard to get them to do what you want them to do anyways. Like trying to get them to grab two things at one time. I genuinely don't even know if that's possible. Like, are your Sims even capable of doing that? I'm honestly not sure. So anyways, back to the build for a second. I decided that the artwork in the base game and in this new kit just were not working for the aesthetic I was going for over here. So I did go to the gallery and grab this artwork. Honestly, just searched pink artwork and sorted by most popular. I should have thought to write the creator's name down, but I didn't. So if I can find it again, I will link it in the description for you. And last but not least, we're doing our backyard area. For the one that has the cafe in it, it's more of a residential backyard because it does have the lofted space upstairs that I had built off camera. And then on the other side with our restaurant, bistro, whatever you'd like to call it, I just wanted to have more of a seating area over there. It probably wasn't necessary to have that, but the build felt a little empty in the back, so I thought it made more sense to put that back there. But with that being said, we are putting some final touches. I wanted to get a few more things outside that felt like you might find them in a public space. So we just got some benches. I got some more of these street lights, make sure we liked how everything looked when it was nighttime. And then over here, we're just putting a very basic backyard. I figure this person's probably not outside hanging out in their backyard too much, being as how they live next to a bistro restaurant. So we just got some planters, a little grill, and I put a telescope back there just to give your Sims a way to die should you want to do that. And with that, that is the end of our speed build. So I'm gonna hop into the game and give you a quick little tour of the build. I just have our build placed down over here where the base game bar usually is. I actually haven't even changed the name yet. But here is what that build is looking like from the outside. So this is our cafe side over here and our restaurant bistro over here. So we are gonna start with the left side, which is our cafe. Heading inside, we just have a nice little seating area over here. Imagine if you have get to work, you can put like the bakery section right here, or if you have get together, a coffee bar works fine too. And then we have a nice little pink bathroom over here in the back corner. It's actually quite a large bathroom for a cafe. I figure maybe it used to be a full townhouse and they converted it. And I just realized I forgot to put floor here. So if you see that cut and that floor pop up, that's my bad. Heading upstairs, I had built this off camera. I wanted to get a box in a shape of the exterior before the new pack came out, just so I could go ahead and build with it as soon as we got it. And I'm not that great at community lots, but I'm pretty proud of how this one turned out, so maybe I should try to do more. But here is our little 1-bed, 1-bath apartment. I think it turned out really nice. It's all base game because nothing from the bistro kit really fits with an apartment aesthetic, I don't think. And they do have this balcony, which I decided to leave blank just because I liked how it looked from the front better when it was blank with just our one little sign. Now moving to the other side, I left this upstairs blank. I did make a floor plan if you wanted to have a little house up here. It's 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, and then open concept kitchen, living, dining. However, I think I might actually redo this build with packs and put like a more VIP section, maybe like a dance floor and DJ booth. So I kind of left it blank for that, but I did put a floor plan should you want to build your own apartment up there. And then heading downstairs into our bistro side, I'm gonna go into tab mode so I can kind of show you what it looks like when you walk in. When you come through these doors, you're met with what would be the hostess station if you had the dine out pack, which I think turned out really pretty. So I put the sign back down from outdoors, and then we have like this bar counter area, which if you have dine out, that's where I would put the hostess stand and waitress station. But I think this looks really nice for it to just be base game. And then we have a nice little seating section over here, a radio, our big bar area, and then more seats over here on the inside. Over here is where our little bathroom is. Like I said, very sparsely decorated, and I did have to put a towel in here because I felt like they needed something to dry their hands with. And then here is our utility kitchen. If you have the dine out pack, this is where I imagine that cooking station would go, or you can put it over in this corner. Either way works. You don't actually need any of this for this to run as a bar. And then heading outside, I think I took it off camera because it took forever to place because it's technically off the lot, but I did add a little tree in here. I just felt like we needed some more greenery, as well as these lights from Debug as well. And then there's some more seating down the side of this building. And if you go around, then there is our little outdoor seating area with a nice archway. If I had other packs installed, I would have put some string lights or something out here, but there's not really any string lights in the base game. And this is our residential backyard over here for the little apartment upstairs. I'm gonna pop this on the gallery for you guys if you're interested in downloading it. I'm gonna be calling it Beans and Bistro. It is technically 1 bed, 1 bath, funnily enough. And I do use hashtag PlumeriaPlay just to help you guys find it a little bit easier if you're looking for it that way. But thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think about the new kit in the comments below, and let me know how you think I did on my first community build that I have ever done for YouTube. I appreciate you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!